Hi everybody, welcome to your first content lecture of English 101. And just to make you feel as mature and collegiate as possible, I have brought toys. Now, I think that these are kind of an abomination because this is what Tinker Toys look like now. If you have little brothers and sisters, I guess you knew that. I did not. But I kind of like them for our purpose. If you were in my AP English class last year, then you've already had a lecture something like this. Really what we're talking about today is outlining. So we're going to do something a little more visual with it today. Outlining is really how you build the interior structure, the kind of skeleton or scaffolding that holds your paper together while you're building it on the outside. So I'm calling this essay the Englineering Department. Since none of you all are in the room, I can laugh at my own jokes. See that? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to build a structure out of our Tinker Toys. For some of you who are very visual learners, this will be very helpful. For others, at the very least, it should be kind of cute and funny. So we're going to start with our primary claim. This will end up being the roof of our structure. This is the thing that we most want supported. Now, you will hear this called a thesis. It's exactly the same thing. Most professors, I think, prefer the term primary claim because it's more descriptive. You don't have to explain to somebody what a primary claim means. It is the claim that is primary to your argument. So, yes, we are going to build our structure upside down with the roof already intact. Now, what comes next, you will sometimes hear described as reasons. I don't like that description myself. I use the term subclaim. Once again, I think it's more descriptive, but also there's another aspect of argument called reasoning, and I think using those terms that are that close together muddies everything up. For instance, let's say this bar here is your subclaim. It does answer the question, why, of your primary claim. So if my primary claim is X, then this subclaim answers the question, why? Why X? But on either end of that subclaim, and this is important, you have your own reasoning. That's what connects your claim to your subclaims to your primary claim, and what connects your reason or your evidence to your subclaim. And you'll notice this is one thing I like about these toys as opposed to Tinker Toys. I've used Tinker Toys in this lecture for years. But one thing I like about these is you'll notice they have lots and lots and lots of holes. There are lots of options in this little ball. And that is true for your reasoning as well, for how you connect your subclaims to your primary claim and how you connect your evidence to your subclaims. So, reasoning, this is your own. This has to come out of your own head. Subclaim, reasoning, this has to come out of your own head. Subclaim, subclaim, subclaim. See? We're already getting our primary claim up off the ground a little bit. Now, for each subclaim, and will you always have 4? No. In fact, I could have done this. There are little pieces like this that are 3-sided like a triangle. I do think you need at least 3. I think if you have fewer than 3, your argument becomes a little unstable, both physically, and you can see it in this visual representation, and verbally. If you only have 2 subclaims to support a primary claim, that argument's pretty thin. So, for each of these subclaims, reasoning, reasoning, evidence. Snap, 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 snap. And there is a reason I chose different colors here, because your evidence will come in a lot of different flavors. You may have narrative evidence, you may have research, some of these may be facts, some of them may be opinions of authorities, some of them may be your own personal experience. All of those things are valid evidence. So I'm going to go ahead and snap these little pieces together. Just like that. Now, you do not always have to have exactly the same number or pieces of evidence for each. Some pieces can be stronger than others, but you always have to have some evidence to support a subclaim. You always have to have multiple subclaims. We'll go with at least 3. You'll see some arguments that have 8 subclaims to support a primary claim. What this looks like in your outline, which is where we're going with this. Also, a visual representation, just not 3-dimensional. But an outline is still a visual representation of an argument. Primary claim, and etc. on from there. Now, I do not care about your Roman numerals. I do not care about your fancy little a's or big A's, or, as far as I'm concerned, an outline's purpose is to clarify your thinking for your paper. It is to strengthen your interior structure. But it is not something that a real reader would ever see. So your formatting doesn't matter to me at all. It needs to be clear. I need to be able to see the clarity of your thinking. But other than that, it's insignificant. So if you want to do it like this, primary claim, subclaim, and of course if I were doing this for somebody who cared about that sort of thing, this would be Roman numeral 1. This would be letter A, this would be letter B, and so on and so forth. But you can also do it in a more visual representation like this. Please don't turn in any Tinker Toys. But you could do it across, which when we do our workshops, it will be presented visually with your primary claim here. Sub, evidence. It will be in landscape format when you start outlining other people's papers to see if you can see the clarity of their thinking to help them out. It will be in landscape format, and we'll do it crossways this way. How you want to do it to clarify your own thinking, as long as I can understand what that thinking is, I'm happy with that. That is the direction we're going this week. We're going to start working toward outlining our first paper, which is a definition argument. If you have any questions about that, or if you have any questions about the structure of your outline, you know where I am. You can hit me up on Google Chat, Google Hangouts, whatever they're calling it these days. You can meet me during my virtual office hours on Google Meets, or we can schedule a special appointment to meet via Google Meets, or you can give me a call, or you can email me. Whatever you need, you know where I am if you need me. Hope you're staying safe. Sure would love to see your smiling faces.